Your mama, because when you addressed Dukiana, she ended up quickly fixed the situation and got on here and corrected the situation with you and blah, blah, blah. When it came to me, she allowed you and your supporters and her supporters to go and repost and retag and write all the. But in reality, bitch, if that's your child, I'm his auntie. So if I'm wrong, call me. And address me for your child. So you and your mama creating this whole narrative about, oh, it's Pride Month, LGBT, he disrespected my child. Let me say something. You can never cancel a bitch that you never subscribed to. I'm going to say this again. You can't cancel someone that you never subscribed to. And with me, I'm not a noob. I'm not a nobody. Bitch, good publicity, bad publicity is still publicity. I'm in the world of PR. A bitch can't run me nowhere, regardless of what you think about me. You don't have to like me, but you don't support me either. So why does it matter? But now, since he's a child and he's making subliminal posts about me, cool. It's a kiddie thing to do. On every video, he's posting my mugshot. But you're a kid, right? Cool. It's the kid shit to do. It's the kid shit to do. But don't forget, you shouldn't be here at 61. Because we're all supposed to be adults here. So when a child plays too much, guess what happens? Pow.
Oh, so you just giving a spanking. You just giving him a little spanking.
Yeah, and I'll have to them. A lot of times when it comes to me, I don't really talk about me unless it's something major. You get what I'm saying? And I'm transparent. I'm a visible person. You know, I'm an honest person, and I don't really hide no shit. You get what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to the front end, I don't have no choice but to talk about it. But when it comes to like my personal life and things of that nature, if you know, you know. If you don't, girl, you're gonna have to go do your homework. You get what I'm saying? So certain people that I want to apologize to is like my manager, my support system, like Miss Healer, Makai, the Shabrikas, people that definitely pour into me. I want to apologize to them because a lot of things that they seen is investments of them investing in me and in my craft, you know? So to physically see like their hard-earned money being spent and being destroyed. So, you know, that's a different feeling because it's like, bitch, you ain't paid for it. We paid for it. So I do want to apologize to them on what they saw. But I mean, this is a part of reality. And this is what I've said since I've been on TikTok. I'm not just a streamer. I'm somebody who lives and breathes reality. And I don't bring nothing here but reality. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the shabrik. You know, so I just want to apologize to them.
Where did it all start?
You know, to be honest with you, like me and my partner, we've been together for like 4 years, and we don't really argue. Like that's something that I hate doing. Even though I get on here and I argue with everybody, I don't really like to argue with him because I don't know what enough is, if it makes sense.
Where is he? Where is he?
He's coming. He coming. I'm the person that, because I ain't want y'all to keep waiting. I'm the person that goes too far. So I don't like to really get into arguments. I don't really like to get into like debacles and things of that nature because I know my mouth, and then sometimes I will take it too far. So we don't really argue. So I feel like a lot of things like with me be like build-ups and things of that nature. It just be build-ups, and me being a Gemini, I hold a lot of things in, and I'll be like, okay, boom, okay, I ain't gonna talk about this one. Boom, I'm gonna pay this one. Boom, okay, girl, we're gonna sweep this one under the rug. And then when I feel disrespected and I feel tried, then that's when the boom, shabrik comes out. You get what I'm saying? And then plus I'm from Miami. So I'm not gonna keep blaming I'm from Miami, but that's my culture. You get what I'm saying? So always being loud, always slapping our hands, clapping our thighs. You know, like we use movements with our, not animated. We just use movements with our hands and our body. You know what I'm saying? So we use like our hands and movements. And a lot of times people like when you're screaming and you're yelling even though like me, I call it being passionate, but other people, they don't look at it as being passionate. They look at it as, bitch, okay, get out my face. Like, you doing too much.
Right.
But with me, it's my version of like trying to explain, you know?
Okay. You said
so
you
I
a
feel like
Gemini. What's his sign?
he's a Cancer.
Shut you up real
Reach
quick.
out and touch, you know? So.
Okay. All right. So, how long y'all been together?
We've been together for like 4 years off and on.
Okay. So, the shabrik of the whole thing is that y'all stepped out of y'all relationship, or y'all had a person enter the relationship or something at one point.
So we wanted to have a little fun. It was our first time ever having fun. And we had got to a place where I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm comfortable with it. So we ended up like, you know, talking about, you know, fantasies and things of that nature. And then we ended up having a threesome. So in the midst of the threesome.
Wait, ended up having a threesome. It was just like, no, tell us about the details. What happened?
That's the details.
Was y'all out somewhere and they came over?
So it was somebody that he had saw him, and then the person was attracted to him, and he was like, oh, I got a boyfriend, da da da. And then he was like, nah, I got a boyfriend, I can't, you know, da da da. So when that happened, he told me about the person, and then I seen the person, and then we had talked about like, you know, threesomes and da da da, because I felt like we have already surpassed that whole situation of what we went through. So I was like, oh, he kind of cute. I said, oh, okay, I don't mind. You know, I'll be down. I had to give the approval. I was like, oh, I don't mind. So when I said,
are they a TikTok person?
No.
Okay.
I would never bring it that close. So I said, I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? So, girl, you know, bitch, you know me. I have to give ambiance. I wasn't bringing them to my house. So I ended up getting a hotel room. Very ambiance, you know, 2,000 square feet. You know, I want to give my shabrik. You know, if I'm going to shabrik, I want to give a shabrik. You know, I want a shabrik. So we ended up that night, you know, we ended up having a really, really amazing time. And I did my big shanak. Like, I felt like if we're gonna do a threesome, it ended up like this.
How did the fight initially start? What was said?
I'm gonna get to that. So you asked for the threesome, so I gave you the threesome. The threesome was magical. It was everything. I feel like we both did our big shanak, and it was cool. You know, didn't have any problems or anything of that nature. Okay. So we ended up having a disagreement the next day. So the next day we had a disagreement.
That morning?
That afternoon.
The afternoon.
And it wasn't about the threesome. The disagreement that we had was about him going to go. He said he was going to go visit his sister. And in the midst of him visiting his sister, he ended up turning his phone off. Because we have our locations. So 3 hours gone by, and I was going to go get like a tire or something like that for my car. They called me. It was like, hey, come get a tire. So I was waiting for him to like, what they said? We need to do a sub chat only. No, let them have fun. So I said, you know what? I want to, you know, let me call him up to see like where he's at so we can go get this tire. You get what I'm saying? So he wasn't answering. So when he wasn't answering, I was like, 3 hours, bitch, you're not answering the phone. Like, why is your phone dead? Like, excuse me? So I ended up pulling up to where he said he was at. He wasn't there. When he wasn't there, that had just like pissed me off pretty much. That's me. Like, I have this thing where a lot of times I don't have to hear your story because I've already calculated every different story.
Created your own story
in my head. So whatever you telling me, baby, go back to school, relearn it, because you can't put that 1 + 3 = 7 to me. Like, I know what 1 + 3 is.
Rosa.
So we got into argument about that. So when we got into argument about that, go ahead.
Did y'all talk before you went off? Did you like give it time, or was you like, you ain't answering? You ain't.
I ain't want to hear it. Cause it's like, why would your phone be off? So
you was about to get on the knee for Rosa.
I still am.
Okay.
Are you smoking? So I fucked it up. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to know more. I felt like, damn, 3 hours and you're not here. Like, where the fuck you at? Like, bitch, you know what I'm saying? So I fucked that up, being too nosy, wanting to know and stuff like that. So in the midst of all that, I fucked that up. So when he came home, I didn't want to hear nothing. It gave, bitch, your phone was off 3 hours. I don't care. And normally I'll get like that. So that's something that I'm learning now that I have to like work on. You know what I'm saying? By one, trusting a little bit more. Two, taking your words and your and for what it is, instead of me, like you just said, forming it into my head. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
go ahead. So that's go ahead.
What's your side? What happened after the threesome, the big whoopee and everything, and it was the next afternoon, and you went to go to the mall or your family house or whatever? Tell your side. What happened?
The place that I had contacted for like the rings, they had more rings in his sizes, so they had kind of reached out to me, but they hadn't at the moment when the last time I had went to the mall. So I told my sister where I was going outside. I'm gonna go look at the ring, but I'm telling Gio that I'm gonna come meet you because you having a crash out moment. Within the span of that, by the time I got to the mall, my sister had already texted me like, Gio's here. So I'm just like, well, damn, bitch, it took me 45 minutes to get to the mall. So I'm just like, okay. But at that point, I had turned my phone off. I just turned my phone off because I was already at the mall. I eventually turned it on. I seen he kept texting and calling. My mom ended up calling. Was like, you need to answer this phone for this man. He over here keep calling the phone. Woo. So I finally answered.
You was calling your mama?
He showed up at my mama's house.
3 hours?
It
You could send a text message like whoop-de-whoop, babe.
It wasn't even 3 hours yet. By the time he got to my mama's house. But so now my mama like, boy, this man keep calling the phone like, you need to answer the phone. You know, he kind of don't trust you a little bit. Cause my mom know about what I had did in the past. So she like, you know, this man kind of don't trust you a little bit. So, but you need to like be in communications with him. But I'm like, I'm trying to do something. You know, I was trying to like do something without him knowing what I got going on. And that's how I was looking at it in a sense.
Was this planned? Like, did you already like, this is what I was doing today? Or so was that good?
So to talk about the threesome, so we were together for 4 years now, right? And he kind of always wanted to see that side of me, and I kind of never like, you know, felt comfortable enough to like let him see that side of me, you know, like, because in the bedroom I'm strictly the top between us. You know, I let him do his little one, but I don't bottom in our relationship. So I was kind of real comfortable. I feel like, bitch, I finally done like opened up. I'm on the phone bragging to my best friends. My best friends were telling me like, you need to let that man like play with a toy, do something, like be a little different. So when I had wrote him about it, like, I'm talking too much.
No, go ahead.
So I'm like, I ain't like, okay. So I'm like, okay, you know. So at that moment, I kind of just felt really comfortable. You know what I mean? Letting him see that side of me. You know, it was just a different experience, you know, for both of us type shit. So. I was just like in a good bubbly spirit. Like I was in a good bubbly spirit.
We had a good time about that. Well, I had a great time.
So it was no animosity, no jealousy, no nothing afterwards.
No.
Nobody felt no kinds of way.
That's the thing. Nobody felt no type of way. Like it was okay. It was like it was a good night. So
how did we get to the mace?
Okay, so we're gonna get to the main. So after that day, he ended up going to the mall to go get the engagement rings and things of that nature. And I felt like he was gone. You know what I'm saying? I felt like he was gone. I felt like, bitch, it don't take 3 hours for your phone to be dead. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 2 hours, yeah, not 3. So now I'm in my guard up like, hey, like, what's the tea? Like, where were you? So yeah, I ruined the surprise by wanting to know too much. But at that moment, I was like already like in my feelings, if it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up leaving. I was like, oh, okay, well, since you can't tell me where you was and it's a big, like, secret, I'm going to just leave. Because I didn't want to get to where we are now. So knowing me, I know how I can get. Sometimes I don't know how to properly communicate. So when y'all be seeing me, like, rah-rah with the eyes wide open and the hands going like this, that's really how I...
And you come talking to me crazy like that? No. See, now you making me reconsider what I'm doing.
Right. I got to take accountability because that's normally how I communicate, and that shouldn't be the way to communicate. He knows how to have a sit-down conversation. I don't know how to have a sit-down conversation. That's why sometimes we don't really have sit down conversations because I be with the rah-rah and he be like calmly trying to have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I can take accountability for that when it comes to me. So I ended up getting an Airbnb and I left. So in the midst of me leaving, he was home, you know, do. And, you know, I just wanted to like, I was already mad. I didn't want to like overly yell and do. So I ended up coming home. Something in my spirit just told me to like, come home. It was like 4:45 in the morning. I was like, I don't want to be here no more. I'm going to come home. So in the midst of me coming home, bitch, I'm walking into my house and I look up and it's him. So when it's him, I'm like, he closing the blinds. I'm like, why is he closing the blinds? So I walk into the house. In the midst of me walking into the house, him and the shabrik man, you know, the shabrik man are coming down the steps. So when I look and I see who it is, I'm like, why is he in my house at 4:45 in the morning? Like, I understand you saying he came and dropped you weed and blah, 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 but why is he in my house? Not only why is he in my house, why is he coming down the steps of my bedroom? Like, weed people don't drop off weed at the motherfucking room. Weed people, they leave the garage, the front door, around the corner, outside, not in my bedroom. And then not only that, bitch, we got an Airbnb when we met this guy. Why does the fuck he know where we live at?
Well, first of when he got here, I had walked to the car to go meet him. I didn't bring my wallet with me. I could have had him just wait downstairs. But I guess from the night before, I kind of was just like a little comfortable, I guess. I want to say I thought I was a little comfortable, maybe just let him come inside the house. I'm not thinking, I wasn't on no sexual timing. Nobody was ready. It was just more so like, I'm just getting weed from him. That's how I was viewing it.
Was you trying to be a little messy, get up on the Rosa feelings a little bit?
No, I don't think I was trying to get on the feeling that, like, so imagine like everything that just kind of like transpired, all of that. By around this time, it's like I'm live on Big Girl. I smoked my last blunt. It was really me just trying to get weed. And the only reason why I got weed from him in the first place is because we had kind of had a conversation like, oh, we could start getting weed from him. That's what the first day when we chill with him, and he's not a weed man. We just calling him a weed man because I bought weed from him. I don't know if he sell weed like that, but we had just got the weed. It was just like me just being comfortable, just letting him come inside. It wasn't like I was trying to do anything. My grandmother was up.
Granny was there?
Yeah, my grandmother stayed with us.
So Granny lived with us. So Granny lived with us.
I feel like that was the whole point of me coming to him with the idea of let's doing something like that. So I wouldn't have to do no dumb shit and then fuck up and cheat or sneak out or have any type of feelings. I was able to do it with my man. So when he came in the house...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, because I think he's about to answer my question.
What?
So what was y'all doing when he came in? What was y'all doing?
He came in. I wanted to get my wallet. I gave him $80 in cash and $40 on CA. He tried to light a cigarette. I told him to go stand on the balcony and light his cigarette. So he smoked his cigarette, acting how they were, da-da-da. And then as we was getting ready to go downstairs, I'm getting ready to close the blinds. I see Rosa walking in. Now,
so y'all barely even had a conversation. It wasn't even you paid him or whatever. He went outside.
He was in the house
he was here for like less than 10 minutes.
Less than 10 minutes. Like, it's not like niggas was on that or I was really trying to get one in. I was getting the weed and he was going about his business. If my car wasn't messed up, I probably would have just went to the weed shop. If I wouldn't have bought weed from him the prior day, I probably wouldn't have even thought about even him. I would like, oh shit, I could just get weed from this nigga right here because I know he probably up and he delivered.
Can I shabrik?
Okay. So what happened, Rosa?
You weren't on that, and you said to me that you weren't on that, but because we just had a threesome with him, he could have been on that. So what if I didn't come home in 10 minutes? What would have like transpired?
I still wasn't on that type of time, and nobody was showered, nobody was on that type of time, and I feel like that would have been disrespectful to do that in my bed. If that was gonna be so, I could have just sat in the garage, walked down the block to his car. I wouldn't have done something in my bed or in my house, especially when my grandmother was up. That's kind of.
So mind you, I come up the stairs, hollering, screaming. So he coming out the bedroom with the guy. They trying to beat me downstairs because I'm already coming through the front door. Granny hears me calling and screaming. So she coming out of her bedroom. So him and the guy, so he's already meeting me down the steps. Granny's with the guy up the steps. So she looking like, well, what's going on? So I'm hollering. I'm asking the guy, like, bro, like, why? Because, like, even though I'm Rosa, in my mind, girl, I'm a nigga.
Mm-hmm.
So at certain moments, that nigga side of me come out. So I'm up the stairs like, nigga, like, why you in my house? Like this is not a hotel. Bitch, we ain't called you for no threesome. Like, why is he at my house?
Okay. Then what?
Then, you know, he had tapped me a few times. I was letting him tap me because I felt like, bitch, obviously, I'm in the wrong.
Tapped you?
Like, he got me a few times. And
Okay.
then we got downstairs.
That was my fault. So I should have, instead, like you said, instead of me communicating like he normally does, because he was trying to communicate, like to explain to me why the guy was here. I didn't want to hear it. So while he's talking, I'm like, you know, I'm like,
And I didn't hit him
Ain't
yet.
no talking. You was like, ain't no talking.
I try not
Ain't no
to
talking.
hit back. I try not to hit back and like that. But once I saw that beer mace and I felt it, then I just went into like a whole different character. That's why I was like, oh yeah, bitch, now you got me fucked up. Like, I get like certain things. Then I hear my grandmother like, what? Why my eyes burning? At that point, I just went in like full crash out mode. And
So what was Mr. Shanak doing while y'all was squabbling?
girl, we don't even know where he went.
I think once you heard my grandmother say the cops, girl, he got out of it.
Because mind you, I told the guy to stay up there. Because I was going to deal with him first, and then I was going to go back to go deal with the guy. Because if he don't tell me the truth, after I get him, I'm going to go spray the guy, and the guy going to tell me the truth. All I cared about was the truth. Fuck what the actions was. All I cared about was the truth. So
I was really angry because I really wasn't on nothing. You know what I mean? I really wasn't trying to like be on that type of time. Like I really wasn't trying to be on no fuckboy shit. Like, you know.
Have you cheated before?
Like, I have fucked up before. I fucked up before.
A few times? One time?
I'm gonna say one.
More than once?
One.
One.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I was just kind of frustrated, and at that point, my phone was broken, my laptop was broke. Only thing I was able to do was either go live on TikTok or Big Up to get his reaction or to get in, so he can see how I was. You know what I mean? See how I was upset. Because on the iPad, it didn't have no like I was able to call or FaceTime him on the iPad. My phone was broke, my laptop was broke, so I was only able to go live on Big O or TikTok. So I went live on TikTok.
So you didn't want to send a message any way you could to let Rosa know that he was in the house.
I wasn't really thinking about it, like
Cause that is kind of disrespectful to. I know I would have been on the same type of time that Rosa was on.
I get that part. But at this point, it's like, do I have to? So I have to call him and let him know I'm getting weed, or the weed man bringing me weed.
You gotta call him and let him know that it's a man coming in the house that y'all just recently shabriked, that y'all just took through there, and it was a good night. Cause me coming in seeing that, I would have think that y'all would have. It was feeling real good that y'all was like, let's get a little 1-2 in real quick. That's where my mind would have went. Seeing y'all first initial view, I would have been like, oh nah.
If I was open enough to want to do that with me and my man did that together, it's like, why would I fuck up that bond that we growing to even do something like that? Like that's backwards. I felt like to have a threesome with him, boom, and then the next day go have him by myself. What I would just have him by myself.
But people do that though. It might not be you. It could be him. He could be trying to be on some slick stuff. Like, let me see if I can get him to Shanak over here without Rosa. Let me push it and see if he going or not.
I mean, I was on that time, like I said.